Are the United States and Israel about to send ground troops into Iran? After days of intense airstrikes, there's growing talk about what happens next. Could it be boots on the ground? It's a question President Trump answered like this.
I don't even want to talk about it now. I mean, I don't think it's an appropriate question. You know, I'm not going to answer it. Could there be? Possibly, for very good reason. Have to be very good reason. And I would say if we ever did that, they would be so decimated that they wouldn't be able to fight at the ground level.
So what options are being considered and how likely are they?
We should look at the characteristics of the country. Iran is a very vast and large country. So because of this, if they want to go after regime change, or if the US and Israel decide to eliminate and eradicate the Islamic Republic as a political system, this means that if we exclude the role of the people coming to the streets, they have to bring something between 800,000 to 1,200,000 soldiers to Iran in order to make sure they can eradicate the Islamic Republic. That's a number that I don't think is coming anytime soon, or that's something that I believe is not possible. What is possible instead is a limited operation on ground by special forces.
That's Shahin Modarres. He's a Middle East analyst, born in Tehran and director of the Iran team at the International Team for the Study of Security. He believes there are two potential scenarios for the involvement of special forces on the ground.
One of them is to retrieve over 400 kilograms of 60% purified uranium that the Islamic Republic still possesses. And the other one is the probable elimination of the new supreme leader, the son of the past supreme leader, Mujtaba Khamenei. In both cases, we might be witnessing an airborne operation to pave the way for the special forces to enter.
Modarres warns that elements of Iran's military are likely to take cover among civilian infrastructure, and any US or Israeli airstrikes on those sites could come at a high cost to civilians.
Well, what they can do is actually quite sophisticated, because from the intelligence and the intel we have been receiving, it is now clear that some of the politicians and some of the responsibles of the Islamic Republic are now hiding out inside the hospitals in different cities. This is something that cannot be dealt with drones and bombs or missiles, because the number of civilian casualties will be quite high. These are the instances and the cases that usage of the special forces can be justified.
But even if it's just a limited force of elite troops on the ground, whether American, Israeli, or both, the stakes are still extremely high.
Sending in the special forces will have the same threats that they have been facing during each and every operation for which they have been prepared for. But in the Iranian case, it could be a little more complicated, because the Islamic Republic has a long experience in bringing the war into the cities and into urban warfare. If you look at the precedent of the Islamic Republic, in particularly the last 2 decades, is that they have been trying to take hostages, even from citizens with dual citizenship, in order to put their governments under pressure, particularly the European government and the United States government. And well, it's quite imaginable that they would do such a thing with the special forces in case they are captured. And in case they are captured, the sad thing is that the Islamic Republic is not going to treat them based on the Geneva Convention regarding the POWs.
The danger isn't just for the US and Israel. Iran's military would be stepping into a confrontation for which it is potentially not prepared. As Shahin Modarres puts it, they're nowhere near the level of their opponents.
Well, regarding the ground troops, the equation completely changes because then we are talking about quantity over quality because the Islamic Republic's ground troops might be high in number, but the lack of training and the lack of them being armed with new and recent technological weapons makes them quite vulnerable and makes them weak. This is going on why they have the number, but the American and probably the Israeli special forces or the airborne troops will be less, but they will be more enhanced and more efficient dealing with these troops.
At this point, we also need to talk about the Kurds. Now, they have deep-seated historical grievances against Tehran. But will they get involved?
Well, so far, what we know is that President Trump made a statement saying that he appreciates and it is great if the Kurds decide to intervene if they want. And 2 days after that, he made another statement saying that the entrance of the Kurds in this equation can complicate things. They are ready to go in, but I have asked them not to. And this is what President Trump has said so far. On the other hand, the Turkish Minister of Foreign Affairs, Hakan Fidan, said that Secretary of State Marco Rubio already assured him that the Kurds are not going in because this is also quite an important matter for Turkey. But when we look at the other side, we can see that President Trump made phone calls to the Iraq's Kurdistan's Kurdish leaders, already spoke with them, and as we know, some of the Kurdish leaders are currently in Washington, D.C., so it is still too soon to say what can happen, but what we know is that the Kurds are the only systematically ready armed groups to go inside the country and fight against the Islamic Republic. And it is also quite important not to fall to the propaganda of the Islamic Republic, calling them separatists trying to annex a part of Iran.
So what are the warning signs we should be watching? The indications that this could be moving towards the deployment of ground troops inside Iran.
Choosing Mojtaba Khamenei as the next supreme leader of Iran means that the Islamic Republic is not still letting go of the political will to revive the nuclear program, the ballistic missile program, and the proxy groups within the Middle East region. So this means that the attacks will continue against the Islamic Republic, and they will try to eliminate the new supreme leader as well. It's quite important to observe and hermeneutically analyze the first speech that this new supreme leader is going to make to understand what are going to be the core targets and the core lines that they are going to follow regarding the future policies of the Islamic Republic. That could be a sign for us.
Well, that's all for now. DW News is covering this breaking news story, giving you the latest and also giving you deep dives on here and, of course, across our social media platforms. I'm Alex Forrest Whiting. Until next time.